What is up, guys? Teddy Cornwell here. Welcome to the Underdog Talk, the world's most underrated podcast on earth. But you see him, Pro Bowler, kickoff return specialist, one of the best of all time. I'm going to just say it how it is. I mean, the big fella smiles out, Dwayne Harris. What is up, sir? How you doing today, man?
I'm doing all right. I'm just chilling, relaxing.
And I don't know if you're going to be doing much chilling or relaxing as this Sunday, your Cowboys and your Giants play each other. And I've got to ask, who do you have winning this Sunday night matchup, Dwayne?
Mm, I don't know. I'm just hoping for a good game. I don't really pick sides when it comes to teams. I know how much disaster that can cause.
Ah, man, I was trying to get you in that trap, and you passed, unfortunately. Darn it! I wish I was gonna get an answer there, but you are a smart NFL vet and know how to answer. And I do want to talk about your college football journey to the NFL. And would you mind sharing that college football journey to the NFL? And what was it like to transition from college ball to professional ball?
For me, my college journey was a little different from everybody else's. Coming in, I was a quarterback coming out of high school, um, which was crazy because that was the only school that was going to let me play quarterback. And then I ended up changing my position to wide receiver after my freshman year, and didn't even never play wide receiver a day in my life, and it worked out.
And it did work out. It's almost like it was your calling, and obviously you had a Pro Bowl career as a kick returner. And I always have to ask, what do you believe the key qualities or skills that make a great return specialist? I feel like you have to have some kind of eyes in your back of your head.
First thing you gotta do is be able to catch the ball. Then after that, I felt like you just gotta have that ability, the instinct to take over. You just gotta have, vision and instinct. Because you gotta make split decisions. In the blink of an eye. So once you got those two things, and then learn the blocking schemes and help your guys set up blocks, it's easy from there.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like the adrenaline. I mean, you must have so much adrenaline when you're returning that ball. I mean, it's almost like a split second you're here, the next second you're there. How much adrenaline, is going through your body, Dwayne, when you're fielding these returns?
Shoot, there's a lot of adrenaline and a lot of anxiety.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, do you miss that? Do you miss the adrenaline?
Nah, not really. It's fun. Um, I enjoyed it. I'll tell you what, I enjoyed every minute of it. But the criticism that comes with the position is tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's tough because you don't really get no do overs at punt return.
No, you don't. But I mean, you were named Pro Bowl selection as a special teams player. I mean, what did that recognition mean to you, and how did it kind of impact your career?
I probably got snubbed so many times for Pro Bowls. Um, but once I got in there, that was just uh, a nice stepping stone for my career to just validate the hard work that I was putting in, and everybody was taking notice of it, and it felt good, to be named a Pro Bowler. The one time I was a Pro Bowler, so it was good. It was just a great recognition for all the hard work I had put in prior years. That I should have already been named a Pro Bowler 3, 4 times before that, but eventually they get it right.
Eventually, they'll get it right, and they had to add that Pro Bowl tick to Dwayne Harris, and I we had Alfred Morris on the podcast. I got to do a golf swing, and he was kind of in that same situation where he transitioned from the Commanders to the Cowboys. I mean, what was it like transitioning from the Cowboys to the NFC rival, the New York Giants, where obviously you shone on both teams and really made the other team pay. But what was it like transitioning from a rival to another team?
Oh man, it was tough. I'm gonna tell you what, it was tough. Dallas Cowboy fans still don't let me let that down to this day. You know, New York Giant fans, they happy about it, but Cowboy fans, they won't let me live it down to this day. But going on the other side of the rivalry and seeing how New York, looked at that rivalry, was different. It's a lot of competitive in both of those teams. NFC teams are with a lot of history, so it was different. It was exciting. I'm glad I got to be a part of it. Playing for both teams and being part of those rivalries and part of that history.
Yeah, and you've had some very memorable games, or moments in the NFL. What was your most memorable game or moment in your career?
Oh man, it's a lot. I think my most memorable probably my first punt return in the league was probably my most memorable one. Philadelphia away game on the road. I think it happened in the fourth quarter. Uh, so I think that probably was my most memorable because that was my first punt return ever. So I didn't have a punt return in college, which is crazy. So that was my first punt return ever. So I was excited about that. I think that might have been my most memorable moment, in my probably my NFL career probably.
And I don't think many people can say that they went from a quarterback to an NFL punt returner like that. And obviously, to me, special teams doesn't get as much attention as the offense or defense. How do you and your fellow special teamers stay motivated and focused, really just locked in on your roles each Sunday, Thursday, and Monday?
We all got a job to do. Everybody got a role. And sometimes, being a special teamer don't get the credit it's due. A guy like Devin Hester probably, he's a Hall of Famer, but a lot of people like, well, so it's a lot of another guy who come to mind who should be a Hall of Famer is my guy in New England. His name
Oh,
is
Deontay Harris?
no, it's my special team guy. I can't even think of his name right now. It's a blank. I always talk about him all the time. So he's been with New England forever. Special team guy, play wide receiver.
Oh, I was thinking of the Saints. You're talking about
His name is not ringing. It's not coming to me right now.
oh, it's coming to me too, and
Because
yeah.
it's crazy because I talk about him all the time. But
Oh my gosh, I know exactly who you're talking about too. This is a mind mess up, and yes, he is a special talent. He is old reliable in the
yeah,
NFL.
he's probably been to what 8 Pro Bowls, I think. Probably won about 6 Super Bowls.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably won't be mentioned for the Hall of Fame.
Dang, Underdog Talk. Put in the comments who this is because I just remembered who it is. I think, but no, I have not. So never mind. We're gonna skip
Can't
this
even think
part.
of the name right now. You gonna make me look it up.
I know. I'm gonna have to. We'll have to give him his respect and look it up. And it is, what is this elusive name? When I say his name, Dwayne, it's gonna be.
It's gonna blow my mind. It's crazy because I think I'd be talking about him all the time, and then I can't even think of his name when I'm on the spot. We're number 18. I think he's number 18 too.
Oh gosh, he was your number two.
No, he's number 18. I'm 17.
Oh, you're 17. Yeah. Now I'm just blanking on everything. Let's see who this is. Oh, I don't think he plays anymore. That's why. Oh, not Marcus Jones.
Matthew Slater.
Matthew Slater. Matthew Slater. Yes. Oh.
My boy
Matthew.
Slade.
Yes. Please don't hate us.
Don't nobody even know him. Like that's a crazy thing. See, we think we talking. The man got all these. He probably got about 8 to 10 Pro Bowls on his belt. And
And he was
a
a
couple. He got a few Super Bowls on his belt, but nobody even noticed. Like you don't even know he out there.
and he was a
the
cat.
guy he's been in the league forever.
Well, Matthew Slater, speak of an underdog, speak of, someone with everything to prove, who's proven everything. Sorry about that, Matthew, and you've done so well in New England. And I think he did actually retire, so shout out to him. But,
He retired finally.
yeah, I think he did. I'm not seeing him on the depth chart anymore. I'm seeing this guy named Marcus Jones. So I think Matthew Slater's taking his time out of the league and joined you in retirement. Now, what advice would you give to aspiring kick returners, or young athletes looking to make it into the NFL like you once were, sir?
You gotta be willing to do the dirty work. A lot of people, guys from college come in. You're probably superstars on your team. You know, and then once you get to the NFL, everybody's was superstars on their team. So you got to find your where you fit in, where your role is, and sometimes you got to do the dirty work. I was a guy quarterback. I ain't never tackled nobody a day in my life. Never ran down on the punt. Never ran down on the kickoff a day in my life. I get to the NFL, and that's what they got me doing. And the crazy thing was I became great at it. And wasn't even expecting to do it. I came in like everybody else, like man, ain't nobody playing on special teams.
Yeah.
And then I made a living off of it.
And I gotta ask, what was the feeling like of going to the Dallas Cowboys? I mean, America's team, and obviously, some Cowboys fans are bitter about it because you were so damn good and you took your talents to New York. But you were a Dallas Cowboy and you rocked and rolled for us for so many years. What was that feeling of playing for America's team?
Oh man, it was amazing. To get put in a situation where you go to a team with so much culture and a winning in the program. Where they love the Dallas Cowboys and the players. And go to an organization like that. Right out of college, and get put in a situation where you know you're on a team where fans love you. Just because you're on the team. It was just a great situation for me. Just being around the guys that I got to be around at a young age, Tony Witt,
Yeah.
all the old DeMarcus Ware. I got to be around a lot of future Hall of Famers. And that kind of you know took my game to the next level. Just listening to those guys, getting advice from them guys. So it was a great experience for me. Just be put in that situation.
And Dwayne, I have to admit, I'm a diehard Tony Romo fan, so I have to ask, what was it like, being with Captain Tony Romo, and obviously a man who, speak of underdog, was undrafted, led the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, what was it like playing with Tony Romo?
Oh man, I love playing with Tony. Man. Tony was probably one of the most athletic people I've ever known in my life. Like if you see Tony just walking down the street, you would never think that he was. If you didn't know him, you would never think he was an NFL quarterback. Just the way he looked. Like Tony, just he didn't look like the most athletic person, but every time any sport I've ever seen Tony play, he's always the most athletic.
It's weird. That
It's
man
crazy because he's good in basketball, he's good in golf,
golf.
he's
Yeah,
good in video games. I've never seen Tony not be good at anything.
that is too funny. Now,
Like it's crazy. Man. He's the most unathletic person I've ever known in my life.
I don't think I've ever. I mean, it describes Tony perfectly, but I've never actually heard anyone say that. But it's so true. Now,
Like I go back and watch. I used to go back and watch film after like games. I'm like, bro, like how is he like? You can see like nobody understand like the stuff he used to be able to do.
yeah,
Like you wouldn't even think Tony could do it. Like he was just so like he was elusive and he was slow at the same time.
the one where he made J.J. Watt miss against the Texans.
Yeah, we did that spin move. Yeah, he did the spin move and threw a touchdown to Terrence Williams in the back end zone.
And shout out Terrence Williams, who's coming on the podcast next week. That
T-Dub.
was T-W, yes, sir. And that was a play and a half. And that's that's that unathletic athletic where he just breaks by JJ Watt, spins away, and the next thing you know, it's a touchdown to T Will. And it's like, what the hell just happened? Now, you've kind of seen it all in the NFL, but how have your experiences in the NFL shaped you as a person, both on and off the field, sir?
Just for me, I wouldn't say it kind of shaped me off the field. It kind of made me, never take anything for granted because football comes and goes. You know, it's a lot that goes into it. It's a lot of time that goes into it. It's a lot of hard work that goes into it, and it's time consuming. So, and you don't really get to play for a long time. I got blessed, and I was, you know, blessed to play for 10 years. So, but it's a lot of stuff that come with it, the injuries, and the politic side of the game. So, it's just a lot, that I take from that, and you can't really take football and put it into the real world because there's a lot of stuff that goes into it outside of just actual playing the game and learning the game. It's a lot of politics, it's a lot of money games, it's a lot of it's all really about all money. You paying somebody 100 M's, you can't put them on the bench. So it just taught me, you can't get discouraged. You gotta always fight for what you want. You gotta keep going no matter if you at the back or the front or you in the middle.
And get down and dirty. Now, do you have anything you're working on right now? Any, future projects, that you're grinding on? Any companies that are coming out, Dwayne? Anything that you're doing right now that you want to plug?
I got a couple things in the work. I'm working with a water company right now called Game Time. And right now we're doing stuff with the community. Which is pretty cool. We trying to get started with a lot of things in the community with camps and stuff. So we've been trying to work with them on that, and we've been moving forward. It's like it's going in a great direction. So I'm just looking forward to what the future holds for that.
And right. And I do have to ask, how has it been adjusting to the retired life and being out of the NFL? Was that something that was easy for you? Because we were talking to Brian Urlacher on the podcast, and he was saying it was actually quite difficult for him in terms of, I think he was saying that he didn't know what to do with himself. I mean, have you felt the same way, or has it been an easy transition for you?
No, it's been a difficult transition. I think everybody football player gets to go through that. Once you've been doing something for that's like 30 years or 25 plus years, so it's like since you was a little kid, this is all you've been doing. And then when you can't do that anymore and you got to transition to something else, it's just difficult. It's a little harder than what people think it would be. Everybody think it would probably be easier because you're like, oh, you got the money and you can do whatever you want. But I tell you what, it's a lot harder than you think because you got so much free time to actually do a lot of stuff, and you really just don't know what's to tackle when, especially if one thing was all you ever done every day. You train, you work out, you go to practice, you come home, and you repeat that damn near 12 years out. So for 12 months, down there, you got a little off time, but off time is like a week and a half, and then you back to working out.
Yeah, there's no rest for the
It's
wicked.
like it's not really no like you really don't get no off season.
No, you get a week and then it's back to the trenches, they say. And Dwayne, thank you so much, man, for taking the time to come on the podcast. Now, where can we find you on social media as well? I see you're pretty active on social media, man, and love for everyone to follow you. What's that social media handle?
Just hit me on IG. It's Dwayne Harris. That's my name. That's how you can find me. That's all I got is IG.
Oh, you don't got the Twitter or the TikTok yet?
Nah,
Oh, that's a smart man. That is a
stay,
smart man.
stay away from those. It's too much.
How you get in
Too
trouble,
much for me. Twitter get a little aggressive for them folks out
Dwayne?
here.
Hey, you don't want them. You don't want them angry Cowboys fans tweeting at you, man. No, I'm playing. We love you in Dallas, man, and we thank you for all you did for us as a Dallas Cowboy, and I really love what you did as our kick returner. And sad to see you go, but hey, you rocked it out in the Giants, so you can't be too mad for that there. And Dwayne, thank you so much for taking your time to come on the podcast. And ladies and gentlemen, a Pro Bowler who should have more Pro Bowls, but a Pro Bowler nonetheless. I mean, the one and only Dwayne Harris. His links will be in the bio. Guys, don't forget to follow him. Stay up to date on your favorite kick returner. Hey, until next time, guys, Underdog out.